Hi, I'm Brian. My role is business improvement within engineering companies, and I'm dyslexic. My job is a business improvement manager for an engineering company. So I look for problems and figure out ways to solve them. I became a business improvement person through originally a mechanical engineer for the oil and gas industry. And I moved on from there, being curious about business and how the sort of kind of bigger world worked, and I figured out sort of kind of how I could do things better within the business, and from there I've sort of kind of been asked questions of, can I solve this problem, can I solve that, and the next one, and it's sort of kind of led on from there, and it's been a job that's taken me all over the world, got to meet really interesting people, and got to solve some pretty interesting problems along the way. Day to day I work alongside individuals within our business, and I get to sort of kind of ask questions of what they do and how can they do it better, and as they sort of kind of start to open up of what these problems could be, I look for solutions to do that. So it's a lot of the time it's directed from my manager, who can see sort of kind of problems within the business, and he's asking me to go and figure out why and what could be done better. So there's not really a set way to do things. It's just really listening to people and sort of kind of understanding what they're saying to you and how that could lead to an issue, which for me is a fundamental has been down to my dyslexia, having the ability to see things not just for what they are today, but what results could be down the line. My career from school has been a bit of a sort of bumpy ride, to say the least. I struggled with reading and writing, but my strengths lay in maths, and through that I studied at university, going to do mechanical engineering, which again was a struggle, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But from there, I started in a company in the oil and gas industry, developing subsea valves, which was really interesting. So I got to develop valves that allows the oil to come out from the ground, and understand how that process happens. But what I got to do was develop the technology to do that. So I would be working alongside engineers across the world, in America, Malaysia, India, and sort of kind of working out how do we sort of kind of make things better. And that led on to me sort of being curious towards how does the business side of the thing work. And from there, again, I was just using the same principles and the same ideas of what I was doing before to solve business issues that I would be as an engineer, to try and figure out how something would go together. Maths has been a great thing for me. It's like in the business world, as we generate a lot of data, whether that's sort of kind of hours worked, or whether that's sort of how a machine works. It's the same principles you put across to each one, and maths is definitely a way that I can sort of kind of see where things are going well or not going so well, and it can be anything through that. The favourite thing about my job is getting to speak to different people, and getting to sort of kind of see different ways that people work, and particularly getting to travel the world. I get to meet other people from different areas of the world, and what I've found is not everyone is the same, but at the same time everyone has similar backgrounds in a lot of ways, that how they want to see life. So that's been my favourite part of the job, is meeting people. The less sort of kind of favourite things about the job is relating to dyslexia. It's like to do with presentations or sending emails. I'm now 30 years old and still struggle with having to ask people for help, and still sort of kind of have the odd occasion of that's spelt wrong or that's not right. And it's something that, again, is built over the years of resilience towards that, and sort of actually saying, yeah, I need help. So unfortunately, there's no quick way to fix having dyslexia or you can't, but there's also ways that you can always ask for help, and it's still the hardest part for me on the day-to-day. Generally, like that, most people who I work with will kind of relate and understand what is right and wrong about my emails. But for the further afield, maybe get out to customers or various different things, I will ask for help to make sure that it was maybe correct before sending it. So that isn't always as easy as just sending it out. So yeah. Career highlights is definitely been around engineering. I love seeing things come from an idea on a bit of paper right through to seeing something built in a factory, and getting to go to India was a big part for me. Was going over there with an idea on a bit of paper to see something getting built, and see it fixing a problem that had been going on for a long time within the company, which was really a big one for me. Advice I'd give to myself is definitely just make a lot of mistakes, learn from them and move forward. I've done a lot, particularly in the last few years, but you can always learn as you go along, and have confidence that you have got the ability to achieve what you want, and set out goals, small goals, which lead to long-term goals, and that's been the key to me in the last few years, particularly. It's been a difficult one. I'm not a person for looking out for one particular person, but I love hearing stories about resilience to fail and pick themselves up, and I've seen a lot of that, whether it's friends or family in situations, and I feed off the people that's got things stacked against them, and I have seen dyslexia feel like that for me, is feeling stacked against things are stacked against me, but it's having that sort of kind of drive to see success out for myself, and like that people are more than capable. It's in your mind telling you can't, and you can if you put yourself to the test. And like that, failing once or twice is never going to, when you get to the level of success, then the failures fade away pretty quickly. The message I would give to people with dyslexia in Scotland is, it doesn't define you if you don't let it, but you can also use it as a tool to leverage your way forward, and never give up to the problems you see day to day. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, why worry about it for 5 minutes today? During my time at school, I definitely was challenged in a lot of ways. And one particular story of mine was I was asked to take an exam with a person that wasn't up to the job, and they were brought in to help with reading and scribing for me during the exam. And unfortunately, they couldn't do it much better than I could. So at that point in time, I marched down to my head teacher and asked them to basically get someone that would be able to help me through it. And during that time, the head teacher agreed, yep, I'll get you someone that can do the work for me. And I asked the question of why not everyone else. So like that, if you are sort of found in these sort of kind of places that you want to give back and help other people, what you're doing for yourself is always going to help other people. So don't always sort of kind of think of it as an easy fix, but also look for the harder way to fix it for others as you go along. And that's coming from me, is helping hopefully people in the future with dyslexia in schools. The things that help me at work are, I recognise that I'm going to get things wrong when writing them down. So what I do is I use a rub-out pen. In the adult world, using a pencil might not be the best way, but yeah, there is things out there that you can use as a rub-out pen.